and I will just be a minute or so. I'm looking for something to talk about. All right. And last time we primarily went over. Okay, we went over Reinhardt, but then also Winston. So I was just checking our notes real quick. All right. So rewind half second. So last time, did we go over No Man's Land at all?
I think we did. I know in this one, my team was screaming at me to catch up and push forward for some reason. I listened to them, and it bit me in the ass.
Okay. So, yeah, honestly, in this situation, you have two choices. Either you can hold really close, that is an option, but you have to already be set up for that. You can't really do that after they've already all pushed out a spawn already. That'd be essentially, if you're holding up here, you're trying to hold them in their spawn, essentially. You could, and then once they get out, then you probably want to be holding off on this corner because of No Man's Land, right? This whole area is No Man's Land, and then now we're kind of trying to push through the middle of No Man's Land. So if your team's screaming at you to go up, that's it's a rough one, but also at the same time, you generally speaking try to avoid listening to bad callouts.
I got you.
Then we just get shredded, take a lot of damage. Mainly that's primarily because of the positioning.
My healing spell is upon you.
Okay. Right now, probably want to be recharging our shield. Okay. Last time we talked about Reinhardt shield usage.
Yes, yeah. I was
Yeah.
trying. I didn't know what to do about this Farah. She
Mm.
kept spraying my team, and I didn't know how else to stop it.
Sure. So when it comes to Pharah, right, that would constitute as spam damage. So unless you see that Pharah's rockets are going to be doing direct damage to your team, either because you see that somebody on your team is low or they're in danger to die to the rockets, then you probably don't need to shield it, right? So don't soak up every single rocket she tosses at your team unless you see that the rocket's actually going to do something, in which case then you can shield.
Okay.
We're also just soaking up a lot of damage here with our shield unnecessarily, and we're dropping our shield very late here, right? So like notice how we're kind of holding it up unnecessarily again against kind of this random spam. We're holding it up even after we're around the corner, not really shielding anything. So just dropping it, let it recharge, get it back up for the fight, and make sure we're not shielding as much spam because then we actually have it for when we need it. Okay, yeah, it looks like we're making it our objective to catch every single Pharah rocket we can. is what it looks like we're trying to do. When know that that's not really necessary because you can think through like, okay, so this Pharah rocket, let's see, let's see the next one she tosses in at us. I guess we're not doing it now. Watch, I mean, like you can see just a lot of it, random flash ups. Let it recharge once it's down, let it stay down. Here, like, notice how we flash it up when, maybe not fully necessary. We flash it up again, it's sitting at 630. Every time we flash it back up, that's going to reset the timer before we start recharging. So you want to leave it down once it gets low so that we can have it charge back up. So once again, we have it for when it's actually needed against things that are important. Okay, very nice. Nice charge. Good awareness to turn around and check. Uh-oh. Was that the bubble you're talking about?
Yeah, that was one of them.
All right. So two things. Firstly, you can say the bubble. So that's that's awareness that that to pay attention to the fact that there's a bubble there. Then number two is looking at the flow of the fight. What last time did we talk about that last time? How to watch a kill feed?
Yeah, and I've been really trying to do that. It's like my games, I'm starting to get a little better at them. Sometimes I'll get it, and I'm starting to beat the tunnel vision, but sometimes I do just kind
Mm,
of go in there.
yeah. So in this scenario, what would this be in the fight?
See, we're up one. Yeah, we should push in.
You're up two in this scenario. It's actually a 5v2, right? So therefore, this is actually a one fight at this point because you guys are up three whole characters. So
Oh,
therefore, you don't even need to be shattering at this point. Because you don't even need to use ultimates in already one fights because already one fights, your ult's just kind of going to be overkill. It's not really necessary to win or finish off any kills when you probably want to save it for the next one, right? Same thing with lost fights, just be a waste if you use an ult in a lost fight.
I don't know why I'm shielding that.
Yeah. So there's just a lot of holding it up, and then note that when we actually try to go in and do things and push, that's when our shield actually just instantly breaks and goes down, and we don't have our shield for when we are trying to push and get aggro. All right. Here, pushing a little far forwards. Typically, you're going to want to hold around where the cart is, and that's going to be the best kind of positioning for you to be in. It's going to mean that you have closer spawns if you're holding all the way back here. The cart's back here anyway, so it's not like you're defending against the cart. So it'd be better if we're holding back here on the cart and maybe like holding on this corner or such, and then that lets them push through this no man's land. But we're kind of pushed forwards now, so you kind of reset to where the cart is in this scenario.
Clearing the area.
Okay. Then once again, we're kind of starting off the fight with no shield, whereas we don't we want to be starting off the fight with full shield, preferably. Nice charge. Charges so far have been looking good. Oh, nice swings. Great 3K. Yeah.
My healing spell is upon me.
Getting started. Chapter visor activated. Barrier active. What?
60 seconds remaining.
Oh. Barrier destroyed. Oh, fire in the hole!
My servants never die.
Very nice.
Challenge.
Still a little close.
Rain from above.
Come here and get refreshed. I'm on fire. Hammer down!
Do you see the problem?
Oh, look at that kill feed.
Yeah. All right. So that's definitely once again something to be aware of right now. I'd say that the two primary I think so far the gameplay looks, pretty solid, and the two main things that are dragging it down so far are shield usage, and then the second thing would be your awareness slash aggression, right? Um Knowing what the heck is happening at kill feed, and then how should I adjust. Last time we just checking. Oh, it does not seem as though we did go over that last time. So just to check, last time did we go over aggression scaling at all?
I think we briefly mentioned it. Is like, are you talking about like if we start going down, or if I feel like we can push forward, then make a mistake or something, I can start pushing forward?
Yeah, that's along those train of thought, but I'll go much more in depth on that, right? Because this is a whole way of thinking about aggression. So here, right, like we said before, and obviously no shatter, right? Because it's already one fight, kind of overkill. Monkey dies with or without shatter, anyways. Um, and then that once again means that we're just gonna keep on being on this cycle where we get shatter at the very end of every fight. Um, so. Aggression scaling. Aggression is directly related to your awareness and what the heck is going on around you, because you don't know if you should be playing passive or playing aggressive if you don't know what's happening. So aggression scaling is basically a tool. It's a mindset to approach aggression so that you know when should I be going aggro, when should I be playing passive, when should I be doing what, right? Because a shatter, you can think of a shatter kind of like a super aggressive move almost, right? So when it comes to aggression, you think of your aggression as if it is on a scale. 50% is your neutral. You come into every fight, pretty much every fight at a 50% because nothing's really happened yet. Then you adjust upwards. 100% is going to be super aggressive. 0% is going to be super passive. You adjust upwards on the scale if you have advantages and if you have opportunities, and you adjust downwards on the scale if you have disadvantages, if you have a lack of resources, and danger. So let's define those. Advantages, that'd be something we can go more advanced into this, but let's keep it simple. Advantages and disadvantages would be kills, right? So this ties in with kill feed watching. You're up a person, maybe you go from 50 to 60. You're up 2 people, 60 to 70. You have 3 people, you go from 70 to 80, and so forth. Same thing if you're down people, you're down a person, you go from 50 to 40. Down 2 people, you go from 40 to 30, right? And etc. Then opportunities would be something like you see somebody's 1 HP or somebody's out of position, right? Or you see a great shatter opportunity, right? Something along those lines. And then you can get extra aggro to go for those. Danger levels. I think we talked about that with shield usage. Yeah, do you remember like kind of what defines danger?
Oh, I don't. I'm sorry.
All good. So, usually people think, oh, somebody is 1 HP, that means that they're in danger, right? But I can be 1 HP and around this corner and be perfectly safe. And I can be full HP and, inside of their team and be very much in danger, right? If somebody is 1 HP, you don't always need to shield them, but if they are in danger, you do need to shield them. And in the same way, if you are in danger, you need to play more passive. And if you are not in danger, then that doesn't mean that you play more aggressive. It just means that you're kind of neutral now, right? Danger will drag you down on the scale. So therefore, watch for danger because that's important because you shield for danger. You shield when your teammates and being low does affect your danger level. Usually, it does usually increase it. But not always, right? So watch for your teammates being low, being in danger, out in the open, right? Having people shooting at them, etc. Right? Those sorts of situations. Are they actually in danger of dying? Then additionally, the last one is resources, lack of resources. So resources are going to be your shield, your abilities, your health, right? Those things are your resources. If you are 1 HP, then you probably can't do very much. You should be at a 0% aggression, right? If you do not have shield, you can't really push. If your shield is at 0, you should probably be at like a 20 because you can't really push without shield. You'll just get melted. So think of your abilities and resources like that. They're going to drag you down the scale. So when it comes to this whole thing, a couple points of note. Firstly, is that all these are all happening at the same time. There's going to be so many different interplaying elements, right? You have advantages and disadvantages. You might be up 2 people, down 3 people, then you are half HP, you're down 1 ability and you have the other, your shield's at 30% HP, you see 2 different opportunities, right? So you have so many different things happening all at the same time, and that can seem very overwhelming. And when it comes to looking to put that into action, you can look to break it. Like if it feels like it's too much, you can break it down even further. Take it to even the smaller steps, right? Maybe focus on just the kill feed for the moment, and just focus on the advantages and disadvantages. That's something you can do. But besides that, once you start practicing at it, it will become a lot more natural, and you can do all of this in the flick in a snap of the fingers. Another thing of note is that it's don't feel don't be under the false impression that you come into a fight and you hard lock into one of these aggressions. That's not how it works. You don't come into a fight and then say, okay, I'm at 100% now, and then stay there for the next 10 seconds. You might come into a fight at 50%, see an opportunity, go up to 100%, get headshot, be 1 HP, and then now you're back at 0%. And all of that happened within a second. So, therefore, your aggression is going to be very fluent. It's going to be fluctuant. It's going to kind of be all over the place, and you have to know where you are at any given moment. Like I said, that seems like a lot because there's a lot of information, but all this is stuff that you should already have hopefully been paying attention to in the first place, right? Like watching your health bar, that's something that's already a necessity, right? It's already important to watch that. It's already important to watch kill feed. It's already important to see what's the danger level of yourself, right? Are you in danger? Are you not in danger? It's just kind of combining those, and the tool and the scale is a tool to put those into quantifiable, easy to understand terms. So, all now that we're done with that, any questions on that? And does that'll make sense?
No, that makes sense. I really got to start practicing on. I think if I can just get one of those two, or one of either, getting the 100%, 50% down, or watching the kill feed, I think I'd be able to do a lot better.
Yep, that definitely is. I mean, that's looking like a big thing here. So definitely paying attention to that is going to help out a lot.
30 seconds ended.
Don't worry, my face. Steel yourselves. Push them back. Barriers about to down.
Oops.
Go to your strike. 10 seconds remaining.
All right. So here,
Flight routine active.
okay, kind of wrap off to the side. Reinhardt's not a flanking character, right? Being off on the side is not what Reinhardt likes to do usually. So stay in the front of your team because that's where you want to be. Pretty much is what I would say here. We don't have to get into the complicated. Know that he has shatter. That's definitely important, but that's something. It's a little bit outside of the current skill level. But really, just stick in front of your team. No reason to come off to the side here.
Go to your strike. 10 seconds remaining.
Oh, wrong one. All right. What am I maybe gonna say is an issue here?
Let's see, I think we're pushed too far forward, and it's just us two. That's just us two, yeah.
Yeah. So that's awareness, right? And I didn't even need to turn around to know that yet. I knew that based off, I could tell that based off the fact that we died really early ahead of our team, so they all died later. You can see this based off of watching kill feed. You can watch tab. You can turn around and see. Before you push, you should always turn around and check, do I have my team with me? So right here, we're just pushing in when it's like a 2v5, right? That's not going to work out too well for you.
Barrier active. Barrier no longer exists. Is that all? Bring me another.
There, we get bailed out. Okay, nice. We checked, saw our team wasn't with us. That's good.
My servants never die.
Do I have your attention yet?
Possibly could be looking to like charge that monkey. And then a little bit of awareness there.
Don't worry, my friend.
Get in there.
No.
Uh-oh. So bubble, but then even beyond that, there's not even anybody in front of us anyways. Yeah, also we're 1 HP when we're using it. So watch shattering when you're 1 HP. Usually not gonna work out too great.
Get behind me.
30 seconds remaining.
Is that the best you can do?
Continue. Don't screw it up.
Taking damage.
Team, bring up here.
Get into position.
10 seconds remaining.
That will only hurt for a bit.
Hammer down!
Okay. Make sure sticking with your team. You're not really going to be doing a whole lot if you're kind of running off on your own. So here we're, you want to stick on top of your team for multiple reasons, right? Like, as Reinhardt, right, you're not going to be able to shield anybody if you're away from your team. And you're the main tank. You're there to create space and be the brawler for your team. You're also not going to be able to get healing from over here if you get pushed. You're all on your own. Overall, as Reinhardt, in a lot of cases, maybe aside from if you're looking for like a flanky shatter or if you have a really great opportunity for something, you really should want to stick with your team for the most part. Here, right, you can think through, okay, well, I'm with my team, I'm with Soldier, but there's also 3 other people over here, right? So we're either a group of 2 and 3, or we're a group of 1 and 4, right? It's probably be better to group up over here. And then they just killed monkeys, so that would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I just realized you're in a. Oh wait, no, that's you killing theirs. That's not our monkey. Well, that was a brain fart. Whoopsie. So yeah, just being over with our team definitely would be beneficial here, and then that also gets our team shattered once again. Note that I don't know if we're gonna lose this fight or not, but if we do lose, the 2 fights that we lost were because our team gets shattered when we weren't there.
Oh no.
My servants never die.
I don't know what
Ryan's
Mercy.
really is. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I don't know what Mercy's doing. Go ahead.
I was like, Ryan, out of all the characters I play, is the hardest for me to play. It's I feel like there's a lot of mind games. I got to keep track of way more.
Yeah, I mean, there's a little bit more. I would say that aggression, because it plays a lot more of a part in it on Reinhardt, which is your biggest problem as of the moment. So if aggression, or I guess awareness is technically, but awareness is still important, just as important on other characters. But awareness also impacts aggression. That's a major point here, on your gameplay. So just yeah, definitely just keep paying attention to that.
You honor me. Barrier activated.
60 seconds remaining.
Barriers unacceptable.
Oh, watch waking up the Reinhardt when you're 1 HP. Besides that, that's not super
30
major.
seconds remaining.
Are you swapping ball because you want to swap ball or because you're looking for a stall? That
I
rhymes.
was mostly looking for a stall. My mechanics are really bad on him right now, and I've been really practicing. But every time I go into a game, like I practice jumping off of things to do slams, but I mess it up like 3 or 4 times.
Hmm.
I was
Okay.
mostly stalling.
Hmm. In this situation, you don't need to be stalling. Do you need me to explain that further, or does that make sense?
Is it just because there's no danger yet of them capping?
Here, right? All right, where they are right now. How many fights do they need to fight to win the game? To win the point, the cap.
It's probably 3, I think, if we can.
If they win a fight, how many fights you think if they win they have to win 3 fights in a row here?
Oh, if they win, oh
If they
no,
win.
I think 2.
2?
Might be able to get 2 of them.
No, probably not. At this point, they need 1 fight win. Because that's how every single point works on a on any escort map. Each escort point, so 1, 2, 3 points, has roughly 2 fights that they need to win, right? So the first fight, right, when you're pushing payload, either happens up here or on this corner, right? So that's fight number 1. Then fight number 2 usually happens around the end, right? Then here, right, first fight happens around this stretch right here. Second fight happens around the last stretch, right? Third point, right, first fight happens around this corner. Second fight happens around the last stretch, right? If they, if they're gonna have a couple seconds to push. If Cart's like up here and then they win a fight, they just cap before you're able to come and recontest as a full team. So that number will be longer if it will be more fights if you win fights. Of course, it's 2 fights in a row pretty much, so it'll be more if you win, and it'll be less if they stagger you. If they stagger you, they could make it 0 fights, or even they could make it 1 fight or 0 fights if you guys just keep going in one at a time. Okay, so from this point onwards, it would be 1 fight for them to cap, right? One fight for them to win, for them to cap. If you go and contest, how many fights is it going to be?
If I contest and get gibbed?
If you contest, just you contest, right? If you contest, how many fights do they need to win?
I don't know.
Still 1. Doesn't change
Still
anything.
1.
Still
Okay.
1. They're in the same spot. They didn't. From here, it's 1. If they stay here, it's still 1.
Oh, I got
right?
you.
So, in this situation, stalling does really absolutely nothing besides just give them ult charge and give them a chance to stagger us, right? Because no matter what, we only need to fight 1 fight against them. There's only 30 seconds left on the clock. We only need to win 1 fight. The only time you'd only need to stagger here, you don't need to stall here, right? Stalling is if they're like right about the cap, right? So they're like right here, and you don't have a full fight, and you kind of have to trickle out 1 at a time. That's stalling, right? So here, ball isn't necessary, but if they were about to cap and you need to come out fast, that's when you'd go ball.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
30 seconds remaining.
Failed
So I
slam?
think we're trying to slam there. You just gotta jump off of it, pretty much there. So just make sure you're solid on something and just leap, jump, and then you're good.
Ten seconds remaining.
Here, probably could like slam the soldier, right? Because know how you're. If you leap right here, know how you're on a slope. You can probably just slam off of that slope that you're on, and then you can probably kill the soldier. Also, we're like completely disengaging here.
I
Right?
got lost. I remember this one. I was like, what am I doing? What am I over here for? And I'm watching my kill feed. I'm like, my team.
Yeah, probably could just double back. Probably would just be the easiest thing there. And the massive slam.
Tactical visor activated. I've got you in my sights.
Get into position.
Speed maximum. Barrier unstable.
Kill the Mahal.
What is that melody? Rolling out.
Yeah. Nice though. I mean, that's good timing and a decently good spot, but it's not. Excuse me, I have something in the back of my throat right now. Let me cough. All right, so a little bit off center, right? It's like back in this right corner rather than in just like right here where we put in the middle of where they're trying to go. So just slightly off, and then that ruins pretty much the whole thing.
Oh.
This will restore you.
You all look like you needed some healing.
That was a suck. Did you see that? Look at this.
Oh, what?
Yeah, that's fun. That's less latency.
Let them out.
This will heal you.
Tactical visor activated. Shield engaged.
I couldn't get on the cart.
Lights out.
In transit. Barriers
This one only hurt for it.
Okay, nice. Probably want to be popping your ult slightly faster there now.
Double kill.
That's unfortunate. You did pretty decent there. Popping ult slightly sooner probably could have helped out.
barrier.
2, 1. Attackers incoming.
Goes through me.
Escort the payload.
Until the barriers go out of existence.
For your safety, please move behind the barrier. I still have use for you.
Barrier won't hold together. My barrier is destroyed.
Alright, good grasps. Shield usage. So when you are using Sigma's shield, every time you're shielding, you are doing this. You don't want to do that every time you shield, because what you want to do is you want to just do this. Just tap it, put it out there in front of you, right? Because look at the difference, right? If our team's standing right here, our whole team's right here, and the enemy team's over there, right? And we go and push shield all the way up here, well, then they can shoot us anywhere from over here. But if we just tap shield and put it right here, well, we just now protect anywhere from that whole angle, right? So we protect from here, but also from here. So it protects us a lot more if we're putting it just right in front of ourselves. So when you're putting shield, just tap it rather than holding it down. The only time you want to hold it down is if you're shielding for your team who's like far in front of you, or you're trying to put it like on a corner up ahead of you, something like that, right? Or you're trying to, for example, shield off like a sniper, or if like soldier was like ulting. But then it kind of like if you're just shielding off like because you're shielding off like a Widowmaker, right? You're stopping her from getting one-shot potential. She's not really going to melt your shield because it's a Widowmaker, right? She's not going to shred your shield down. So you're basically canceling her out. But Soldier, firstly, isn't a one-shot danger character. Like, that's just kind of soaking up the spam damage if you're putting out, like, zoning out a Soldier. And then also he does a lot more damage than a Widowmaker, right? So he can kind of melt your shield down and then be fine, or just run around it. So you'd only really want to do that if he's like ulting, and then you can do that. But we're just yeah, but we're just pretty much just every time we're tossing it out there, we're throwing it really far ahead of ourselves in our team. That all makes sense?
It does, yeah.
All right. I haven't seen it yet, but we've never gone over Sigma yet. Flux, really quickly, tech. When you're fluxing, you only have time for 2 volleys during the whole thing. Volley meaning shots, right? You only have time for 2 whole volleys. So you do 1 while they're in the air, 1 when they slam. So it's gonna look something like this, where we ult them up. I only got 1 of them, 1 in the air, 1 on the ground because they get stunned when they hit the ground. And then that should get you around 2 kills.
Traveling to Havana. Ready for battle. I recommend
Give me a moment to think. Observe the barrier. My barrier is destroyed. I'm on fire.
Okay, nice.
Freak up here.
I mean, now you just want to be really aggro, go get the skills, right? Because you just such at a big advantage. Even now, we could be pushing them really hard, because look at this right now, right? They still have a bunch of people staggering back in. They're low in there. You have your whole team here. You have a mercy damage boost on you. So you could honestly be like going over to where Soldier is and just like, you don't have to like run into them, but you could probably be getting a little, just a tad bit more aggro. We're maybe at like a 55 right now on the scale, and we could be like a 65 or so, right? Just bumping it up a hair. Where are we at? We're right here. Okay, so we do that. It's a little bit delayed. Probably don't want to be ulting yet, because firstly, we're doing this blind where we can't see anybody, so we don't even know if they're grouped up or not, as of the moment. And we don't even know how close people are. We're just doing this. We don't even know where anybody is, right? That's the problem. So probably don't want to be ulting blind. Secondly, this is a little bit early in the fight to be ulting, because the fight has not really started yet. The enemy team's not really grouped up. They're not really near your team yet. Probably want to be saving it a little bit closer to the when the fight begins, possibly if they go to cart to contest. Because we also just we don't even really follow up much on it. We get one character and then we don't really even kill her. Okay, great grasps, great rocks. Shield's been looking decent. Drop it while it's not doing anything here.
Oh, I didn't know it was up so long. Oh no.
Back to me!
Check this out.
Team up for special attack.
Activating the barrier.
Oh, I tried to grasp it.
Watch the shield. Make sure you're dropping your shield when it's not really doing anything. Alright, so here we just kind of have it top right, not really doing too much. So drop it so you can have it ready to put back up. Okay. Tunneling a little bit on the soldier when he kind of ran out of view. Probably want to swap your attention to people on point.
I don't know why I thought he was such a big danger.
Observe the barrier. I've got you in
This would be a perfect opportunity to flux. Why is that?
They're all grouped together. Should I flux even if they use beat?
Well, the beat by this point had run out, right? And you can probably use it on the tail end of the beat. So look at top right now and look at all their health bars. Beats run out, pretty much by this point. Right?
Oh, okay.
So you can give it a couple of seconds, and then and then you could even you could be ulting right now, because by the time they're all up in the air, because really remember the damage is coming through when they're slamming, right? That's when all the damage is coming through with your ultimate, and then the process of you casting, pulling them up in the air, that takes like a second for them to be pulled up and then finally slam. So you can be getting them all up there even while beat is still a little bit active, right? When it's still a little bit there. So here we could definitely be fluxing any point here. Any point here. Any point still.
Oh no.
And now we flux, still get 3 people. That's still fantastic, though. Moira kind of jumps into it. It was really, we probably could have gotten 4 people in it before. Here we're kind of settling for 2 people, right? When we could have gotten 4 before, maybe possibly 5 before. I don't know if we could have gotten. Let's say 4. Here we're settling for 2, and then Moira we get a bonus because Moira jumps into it. Okay, great flux. Good follow up on it. Something we could be doing right around here that would be superior positioning wise. That is standing on top of the boilers instead of dropping into them. Probably just stick up here with your fly, and then now we have just we can see everything and shoot at people for free from up here. Right, you can see literally the entirety of it, all of point from up here.
I think I got greedy, and I just wanted that kill.
Probably get the kill, like if you probably get the kill whether or not you drop it or not, right? right? Because look, you can kill the Reinhardt from up there. You can kill the Moyer from up there. Either way,
Triple kill.
probably still get the kill. Not a big deal. You win the fight anyways.
This pattern.
Okay, you see Shield's no longer doing anything. Drop it
Yeah.
and replace it, right?
Please move behind the barrier. Payloads on the move.
Oh, not fast enough.
Slightly delayed, yeah.
Barrier is out of existence. Everyone, break up. Activate
Great grasp usages that I've seen though.
Won't hold together. Nose in the boat. Retrieving the barrier.
Freeze! Don't move.
Tactical visor activated.
Never die.
Okay.
Tactical visor activated.
Right. Here, probably not shooting at the right thing. Why is that?
Discord.
Discord, but then also we have two people who are frozen right next to us. In comparison to the soldier who's kind of hiding up in the corner. Probably gonna be much easier to focus these people down on the ground than trying to kill soldier.
Payload in motion stays in motion. Everything is falling into place.
Alright. Uh-oh.
I don't know what that was. I don't even remember like a thought process. I think I just hit Q.
Yep, so firstly, fight one. A big thing. Secondly, solo ult, right? So solo ult, half HP, probably could kill him even without ultimate. Fights one, you know, that's now third ult in between fights, remember? Watch kill feed,
Yeah.
make sure you're not ulting in between fights, because it's just not going to be great timing for him. Usually some of the worst timing for it. Aggression, what should our aggression, like if you were to put a scale on it real quick, what would be your aggression right now?
See, they were just down monkey, so I should just keep pushing forward on them.
You want to put that on a number?
On an aggression scale,
Yeah, on an
Let's
aggression
see.
scale.
I'd say 70.
70? Oh, that is pretty much, about accurate, right? Because you have two people here. 6v4. So we could probably be pushing pretty aggro, but we're kind of hesitating a little bit, pulling back, right? We're not really pushing at all here. Kind of poking, right? So probably could have gotten a little bit more aggro.
My healing spell is upon you.
Now they get all their teammates back, so we're back to 50. So this behavior is perfectly fine if we're at a 50. Okay, once again, kind of leaving shield up, doing not a whole lot. Shield's the thing to watch out of all your abilities here.
Oh no!
Barrier is unstable.
We don't have to go super in depth on it, but note Reinhardt's gotten like 4 shatters off on your team this game. So watch for his shatters. Look to shield him. We don't have to go super in depth on it.
My barrier is destroyed. Barrier is unstable. Tactical visor. Sweet. Poor practices.
Oh no!
What was the? Did you catch it? What was the? I don't know.
I didn't realize my health was so low when I did that.
Yep. So watching the health bar, maybe a little far forwards, right? A little out in the open, or a couple things. We do get a lot of people in that though. That's good.
Oh, another shatter. Oh my gosh.
That Shatter killed 3 people with just the slam itself. Get. Oh, I kind of want to watch that on his end for a second. Because he was that with the hammer itself. Look. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness, that is kind of massive. Look at that.
I got outplayed so bad. Oh my
All in
god.
one little ball there. Alright, that's kind of nuts. Your ult was good, his was better. Sorry, I'm looking at general chat here.
This will heal you.
Back to me!
10 seconds remaining. Round short.
Oh, didn't even react.
Yeah, slightly delayed. Watch, look, listen, right? Awareness. Alright, then let's game. We got, yeah, we got 13 minutes left. Maybe got a little bit of extra time here. Do you recall, what did we say last time on what the improvement process looks like? What are you gonna do? Like we pick out the stuff, right? We have what you want to work on. What do you do with that stuff you're looking to work on?
Give each of them a priority and then start going down the list once I feel like I start, putting them to heart, I guess, and start putting them in my games.
Okay, so we got the list. Right? I'll make the list. You got number 1 in mind, right? You take number 1. What do you do with number 1?
Make that the priority.
Make that the priority, right? So to be more specific, right, on make that a priority, right? You want, and I said this last time, so this will be a review. You want to make sure that you're actively focusing on the thing you're trying to work on, right? That means you're not autopiloting, you're not playing to play, you're not just purely playing to win, but playing to improve. And that means that you're going to repeat to yourself. If awareness is the biggest thing, you're going to be thinking to yourself, awareness, kill feed. You're probably going to pay attention to kill feed just a little bit more if you're saying kill feed the whole fight, right? You're probably going to pay attention to it a little bit more. So therefore, your awareness is going to be better if you're doing that, because that's really all that awareness is looking around. And then therefore, it'll form it as a positive habit. Once it forms as a positive habit, then you can move on to something else to work on. And then just don't try to do everything all at once, right? Break it down. Awareness / aggression is a massive 2 categories combined into one. So don't try. I probably wouldn't try to do all of that all at the same time. Break it down a little bit. Start with maybe you can start with the basics of kill feed and how to apply kill feed into the aggression scaling, right? That's something you can take a look at to start with, and then you can go from there. But that all makes sense. Any questions?
No, not yet. I really need to get the awareness, or at least, just. I think that's what I'm gonna do in my next few or couple of weeks. I'm just gonna continue to watch the kill feed.
Yep. Sounds good. All right, so we got a couple more minutes here. Why don't we get into the wrap up, and then we can always go and do something else if we have extra time at the end. So let's see. Review, wrap up, main points. We went over Reinhardt and Sigma and a little bit of ball. Reinhardt, shield usage, right? Shield for danger, shield for abilities and ultimates and things that really matter. Shield when your teammates, need it, right? When you need it. When you're pushing, when you're backing, etc. Don't shield for random spam. Make sure you're putting it down when it's like 1 HP. Don't keep flashing it. Don't walk in and flash it. Back off. Remember, when you're low, when you don't have the shield, you're down your resources. You have a lack of resources. So you're probably playing passive anyways. You can just back up for a minute, let it recharge, and then push when you actually have it, right? Besides that, maybe Fire Strike a hair more. All good besides that, right? Ability usage, though, probably a medium priority for you to work on. Reinhardt ult usage.
This old
I don't
dog
even
still knows his
need
new
to.
tricks.
What did I say? 2-year-old use. Oh yeah, the main thing. Make sure you're not using it in won or lost fights. That was a massive thing across all your ults. Besides that, not a whole lot. I think that was probably the biggest thing you messed up, was just kept using it when fights were already happening. Also, just like with your ults, just try to get as many people as possible in them, right? Be ambitious with it. So overall, across all your ultimates, probably on Ball, Sigma, Ryan, probably puts them all out around like maybe like a lower end of a medium or so. Should hopefully be an easier fix, because you're also working on that with awareness, right? That should be your number one priority. Ball with your ult usage, just make sure you're centering it a hair more. Maybe using it slightly faster, right? Don't hold on to it. Ults that are used first generally get more value than ults that are used second. Besides that, I don't think we talked a whole lot about the rest of Ball. I mean, like, honestly, we were only on Ball for a short period of time. I don't think we talked too much about your ability usage. Maybe just some better comboing sometimes. But, I mean, we didn't, like I said, we didn't discuss it. Then you have Sigma. Sigma grasps looking good. A couple times where we grasped things we couldn't actually eat, though. Watch for that.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Brock, good. Shield, though, don't launch it out ahead of you. Also, pretty much all the other same stuff as Reinhardt's shield. Overall, though, probably slightly less than Reinhardt. For some reason. Oh no, I guess never mind. Also, if I think about it more, just also make sure you're not holding it up there when it's not doing anything, right? Drop it when it's not doing anything. Yeah, just make sure you're not needing it, you're not using it. And then overall, it's probably around the same, right? Like medium priority, something around that. Moving on, you have your, I don't think we really talked about anything with the mechanics. Positioning, watch your no man's land, and choke points and stuff like that. Make sure you're using cover, take high grounds. I don't think we honestly discussed a ton on positioning, right? And then overall, that probably goes to maybe lower end of a medium, or probably even just like a high end of a medium high. And then we get awareness / aggression. This is, when you're thinking of this, note that it is content-wise worth 2 entire categories. But these are like bigger end categories. But they're combined because they're so integrally correlated, they're interwoven with each other. I'll never ever really have if somebody has a problem with aggression, they never ever have great awareness. Right? They're always correlated. I mean, not even correlated, cause, right? That's the causation. So pay attention to your environment, right? Be aware of what's going on around you. Watch your health bar, watch your abilities, watch where is your team at, right? Check left, check right, check all around before especially do that before you're pushing, right? Before you go aggro, do a quick scan. Do I got my team? Yes, I do. Let's go. No, I don't. Let's wait, right? Check what's happening in kill feed, right? 1 to 2 advantage, 2 to 3, won or lost fight. Keep your eye on it. Realistically, with all these different awareness things, you don't need to pay attention to every single thing all at the same time, because are people dying every single second of the game?
No.
Okay, are you always going to be 1 HP the whole game?
No, especially if I do a little better.
Yeah. Are you always going to be down your abilities?
What do you mean?
Are you
on cooldown?
Yeah, are your abilities always going to be on cooldown?
Oh, no.
No. Are there always, I don't know, like we can keep going with that, right? There's when it comes to awareness, a lot of it's situational, right? You have to get good at looking at it when it actually comes up, right? When you see, like, you can just be going and doing your thing, and then you see something happening in kill feed out of your peripheral vision. That's when you look up at it. You see, you're going about your business, and then you see, oh, I'm being shot at. That's when you check your HP, right? Now, if you're getting into the habit, you can pay attention to it a little bit more than you need to, right? Because you're trying to overcompensate a little bit. But at the same time, note that it doesn't have to be all at the same time of everything, right? Watch kill feed, watch tab, watch, keep your ears open, keep your eyes open, watch for the flankers, right? Check your surroundings, all of that jazz. Implement that into your aggression. Aggression scaling, right? Start at a 50% aggression, neutral, 100% is your super aggro, 0% is your super passive. Adjust up with advantages and with opportunities. Adjust down with disadvantages, a lack of resources, and danger level. Pay attention to danger level as well of you and your teammate. Excuse me. Of you and your teammate. And overall, that one's like a, I would say honestly, awareness slightly more than the aggression part, to be honest, right? Like I would probably say awareness, high priority, aggression, lower end of a medium high priority, right? So if we were to split those up, so honestly, I'll split them up, but know that they're combined, right? So put that in order. Number 1, awareness. 2, aggression. 3, 3 went to your ability usage. 4 was your ult usage, and then 5 was, and then that was directly related to your awareness again. And then 5 was your what was it? Positioning. It was at the bottom. So no, if you get to work on your awareness, you're affecting both your aggression and your ultimate usage, both at the same time. Right?
Okay.
So really, really, really high priority right there. Any questions?
Actually, I do have one that's kind of not related. Is if Overwatch 2 actually comes out, or when it does, do you think these skills will be fair, for the most part, transferable?
Most parts transferable. Yep. There'd be like maybe a couple differences. I mean, like there's some things that'll be more important. Like, I mean, like there'll be different. Of course, there'll be different abilities, different things to pay attention to, different like there'll be more new stuff to be aware of. But a lot of the stuff's gonna be the same. So you could say that like some principles might be like some things might be weighted higher than others, right? Like Overwatch 2, from my current understanding of how it's gonna work out, it's gonna be a little bit more of a shooter, a little bit less of a MOBA. When we get over to Overwatch 2, so you're going to make sure that you're using cover, and that you're using cover a little bit more. I think from what I hear, off tanks are going to be a lot more applicable than main tanks currently. So yeah, there'll be I would say mostly applicable, few tweaks here and there, and then a lot of new stuff is what I would say it is.
Okay. And I guess one last question: is Ball a main tank or an off tank?
Most of the time, main tank. Depends on like what comp you're running him in, though. I mean, when it comes to most of the time main tank. When you're talking about main tank versus off tank, you're talking about which player on a team typically plays them. When you're talking about like a professional level team, you have the main tank player and the off tank player because you have 2 tank players. And then the main tanks are the characters that the main tank player plays, and an off tank is the characters that the off tank player plays. So if you are running, for example, Sigma, right? Like or I guess let's take Ball. If you're running Ball and Zarya, or something like that, then Ball is the main tank because the main tank player would play him. But if you're running a Monkey Ball, well, the main tank player would play Monkey, so therefore Ball would be the off tank player and therefore an off tank. Does that make sense?
Oh, I thought it was like designated each one. No, I definitely appreciate that. That helps.
Yeah, it's I'd say the most flexible one between the two is Sigma. Most of them are very hard and fast, right? Like most of them are very hard and fast. Reinhardt's a main tank. Monkey's a main tank. Ores is a main tank. Diva's an off tank. Roadhog's an off tank. Zarya's an off tank. Ball is maybe a little bit more, most of the time a main tank, sometimes an off tank. Sigma is a lot more in the middle between the two because he can be, let's say you're playing a Sigma Zarya, right? Sigma's the main tank. If you're playing a Sigma Roadhog, Sigma's the main tank. If you're playing a Sigma Orisa, then Riss is the main tank, Sigma's the off tank. If you're playing Reinhardt Sigma, then Reinhardt's the main tank, Sigma's the off tank, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to take up too much more of your time. Can we do around the same time in 2 weeks' time?
Let me check that